going on with you?
Nothing. You know what?
Do you have a work?
I think so. Do you?
I don't think so. I know so.
Really? Yeah. Okay, good talk. What does it stand for?
Women Against Poverty.
Exactly. Women against. I think I agree with that. Anyway, should we just start? Welcome to Girlies Guys podcast with me, Natasha.
And Claudie.
And I sometimes go by Nat.
I sometimes go by Michelle.
Yes. And if you guys are listening to this, like, can you hear the sound?
Yes.
It sounds good.
Can you see where we are?
Yeah.
It's amazing. I feel so pumped to be here, to be back here, actually. I've missed this place so much.
Yeah. So we're back in the studio for those of you. Lockdown has been a lot.
It has.
Like, we've had to use Zoom for our recordings, which is fine. But I don't know, like, yeah.
It served a purpose in that, you know, we grew our YouTube followership, as Joe Biden
because we were not.
say.
Yeah,
we weren't putting anything out.
Yeah, exactly.
Like visually,
we were forced to like put like something visual out,
yeah.
And I think it was good. It was in an interesting kind of way. I think it was kind of good for us because we managed to speak to people that we probably wouldn't have spoken to
100.
just because normally Tina we record at night, and being in the studio
difference,
So but we'll get into like season 2 and everything. But I is happy. Yeah, and then Brent followed me.
I hope he followed me too.
But I don't even think he knows what your Twitter handle is.
I heard him asking. Like, I'm a bit upset about that, to be honest.
Okay, let's go. What else?
Brent, you haven't followed me. Oh, he did. I see him now. Can you make sure you tweet something about Zimbabwean Lives Matters?
But you know, Thingy was tweeting about it, or Andre and Iman.
Oh, yeah.
Iman was
our fellow honorary Zimbabweans, those guys are.
Yeah. Did you see Andre's got let's
He's got a what?
a tattoo.
Yeah, I did. His sleeve. Looks nice. Looks sore.
But anyway, there's on what, there's something you wanted to read?
Yes, guys. So basically, shout out to Tapela. Bridget Tapela, beg your pardon, known as Brie. So she earlier on, like, when was it? Like
probably about 2 months or 3 months ago.
A few months ago, she self-published a book, which is out on Amazon. So you can, on Kindle. So you can buy it off Amazon. Basically, it's just a book. So without giving too much away, I'm just in the middle of reading it myself. It's just about a girl who moves from Zimbabwe into London, and just basically the story is centered around her family, her upbringing, and a few other things. And there's a little bit of there's something for everyone in this book. So get it whenever you can. So I'm just going to read just the first paragraph in the book, because I think for me that is what kind of got me into the book. It's very rare that you kind of get into a book that is like literally you get in and it's like mid-action, Anyway, so it reads: "Run, get out now and never look back," she said with the most sincere gaze into my eye that sent shivers down my spine. How could my mama be sending me off to the unknown like this? What had I done to be dismissed so effortlessly by one person I had known all of my 18 years of life? How could she seem so caring in her eyes, but also so dead of love for me? It was dark outside. She never let me out after the sun had set and allowed the moon and stars their time to shine and light up the heavens for those who wondered in the night about their various business, both good and bad. But here she was, telling me to go into the darkness I had never been accustomed to and was surely not prepared for. I walked out the back door into the darkness of Mzilikazi, backyards weaving my way in the shadows amidst all the ferocious barking of poorly fed crossbreed dogs scattered all over the high-density houses that housed large families in their very small dimensions of this poverty-stricken land. My eyes were burdened with the tears of Mama telling me to leave what had always been my home. So guys, if you want to find out like why Elisha is running away and why she is being put in this position by that one person that she knows, the one person that she trusts. I suggest you get the book. It's entitled Elisha, and it's by Bridget Tapela.
Yes, and we'll probably put a link like in the more info and something.
Yeah, like no. Support people.
Yes. So I'm happy today.
Why?
I'm happy. Because my free nuts.
So how long are you wanting freedom for? It's the 14th of
So guys, this is our season 2 finale. So we are off for what? Is it 3 months?
Should we make it 4?
Make it 6 months.
We're off for a month.
We'll see about that. I'll see if I can try and make it longer.
Okay. We should be back like mid-September at least.
We'll see about that. Not even October, to be honest, guys.
Okay, fair.
What do you guys think?
Hey, I listen to your pod every week, so I have a big gap and it has to be filled with something. So don't make it too long.
But okay, we'll get to the part where some of you will be on the yeah. No, let me not talk about the
the what?
You'll get to that point.
Okay. No, we're off indefinitely. We'll be back at
No, we will be back. But no, just it's just, like I personally just need to like reset, recalibrate, and just like recharge. I need to come back with more content 100%. For you guys.
100. Like I'm already looking forward.
When you look like you're dressed to go and get content. What's going on?
And listen, you need to be ready.
What's going on?
You need to be ready.
No, guys. So literally, like we're like, okay, we'll come to the studio. Untitled. Like I'm like, what is the reason? What is going on?
The reason is it's our season finale. Like you need to put in the effort. Like so, I was like, I'm just going to put in a little bit of effort. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, So you need to make sure we finish on time because I'm kidding. I kid. No, honestly, it's I think you need to kind of appreciate that for us before even we're putting things out visually.
Yeah.
We were just in the studio with audio. And I feel like, oh gosh, I've genuinely missed coming here.
Yeah.
So I've been super hyped about it all day today. And I'm like, oh.
And you got your lashes done.
Yeah. And it's a 2-minute job.
A lot.
Yay!
Wow.
I bet Budfa will have something to say about that.
The lashes.
Yeah, we're ready to take off. But yeah.
Okay.
You look good too.
Oh, shut up. Anyway.
What do you mean? But why can't you just take a compliment? You do. You look nice. I said your dress was lovely.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Makeup on fleek.
Yeah. Do you know what thing?
But the problem is because you always look like, I mean, I'm the person who doesn't always put in that much effort. I just come in and I'm just here. Oh. You always.
Can I ask why you just lying unprovoked?
But I'm not lying.
Just unprovoked.
Am I lying though?
No need to lie.
Am I lying?
No, she's always on point.
She's always on point.
The makeup,
and 100, right? And the thing is, like, if I think back on our Zoom, like, our episodes on Zoom.
You guys are letting this girl lie.
Our episodes on Zoom. Like the only reason, like I am typically your girl next door.
Letting her lie.
And the reson why I even made a little bit of effort is because I knew that you'd be out there looking good with your
but you know what this reminds me of? I think I was listening. I've heard this like a few times. I listened to like 3 shots and like they always say no. Girls. They always say that girls lie to each other. Like on Instagram, like a girl would just post a picture, right? And all the girls are like, yes, Cephas, we are your waves. Oh my God, you look so hot. And they'll be like,
your waves.
Oh, whatever, right?
We are your waves.
No, but they'll be saying that, like they'll be hyping the girl like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
You're stepping on my neck.
Like you're stepping. Oh, sis, when you let us breathe. And they were saying that sometimes it's a lie.
They ain't right me.
No, but the thing is, so I'm listening to it and I'm like, look at this one doing this step on our neck, sis. I can't breathe.
You're looking good.
Step on our necks.
I mean, I don't know what you.
No. I hear you.
Yeah.
But then I always find it interesting, like when guys say that, when guys are like, oh my God. And then like another thing that they say, they'll be like, oh, yeah, they'll be like, like sometimes a guy, right, will be, like will, like how a guy will move on, or like how guys sometimes, I don't want to say cheat, because I'll be accused,
No, they
right?
cheat.
But then they'll be like, because they were like literally like, like they'll be like the girl that they'll be with, right? They'll be like, will be on the other girls like Instagram, or trying to say, yes, sis. And then it's like, but so you understand why I like it? Because you're also like there, like with the fire emojis.
Guys, yes, that's what I'm saying.
But no, I take your compliment. Thank you very much. And then we also just wanted to sort of say, because season 2 has been, because we started season 2 in September, right?
Yeah.
I think if the year had been okay, we probably would have ended it, like earlier, but obviously like lockdown and stuff. But yeah, I think it's been, if I look back from season 2, I think it wasn't really our first episode, but it was kind of like we kind of like cut our break off, like when Mugabe died. And we did the episode. That was, guys,
there is no connection whatsoever with Mugabe dying. We would have continued 100.
No.
Like an extended mourning period because Mugabe died.
No. You guys are not hearing me. I'm saying we were on a break from season 1 then. And we were not supposed to come back until then Mugabe died. Then I remember like we just were like, oh, okay, I think we kind of like moved. We started like 2 weeks before we were supposed to do our season 2. But I'm just saying, guys, we've been through a lot.
We have.
Mugabe dying in September. And
guys.
Here we are, the bottom of the bottom.
Wow.
Bet you miss him now.
No. Let's not sanitize that man. That man was speaking evil. Like, come on.
Nah.
We are dealing with evil right now with Emerson, but that man we cannot.
When we had Mugabe, we thought we had the basement.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When we moved down the line.
There's a door.
There's an attic. I was going to say attic, but attic is up. What where you go down? The basement.
There is more. There is worse.
Yeah.
Like how? Like Kubula guys with the flags, Kuma embassy. Guys.
Yeah.
And the parties we had after.
Many people didn't see this one coming.
No, but we said it. We called it.
But
Okay.
who would have imagined we expected the same, not worse?
I think that's true.
At the very least, we expected the same.
Yeah.
But
Because at that point, did you think things could get any worse?
no. That's what I'm saying. Like we're at the basement, and we just did not think there was another trap door going. And every day, the trap door
goes lower
and lower
and lower.
Yeah.
It's like, how are we going to come back out of this? Like, seriously. It's mad.
It's absolutely ridiculous, guys. I think you're right. I don't think people expected worse. Although I will always say people need to read up on history as like Zapu history to understand them. I think if people really read up and understood Zapu history, they would not be surprised by where we are. And they would have been really cautious about letting this whole system go on. Because, like, do you know, now we are in a worse place because the world doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because in 2017, like a lot of countries, they how can I say it? Like they use their political platforms to kind of sanitize the coup and be like, okay, it's fine. But now they don't, like the UK doesn't want to be associated with them now.
Yeah. It's like you've laid your bed now.
And we said, we said we're open for business. How can you squander such an
opportunity?
We said we're not going to do politics.
I know.
We're going to be lighthearted, but guys,
it's hard, man. And I think it's just like every day. Like, and for me, like I've found like social media quite hard like the past few weeks because as we sit here in the comfort of in this nice studio, Hopewell is still in Chikurubi prison, I'm just like, and yes, I feel like we're tweeting every day, like, Zimbabwean lives matter, ZANU-PF must go, free Hopewell. But I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel so helpless in that,
I think everyone's given up. If you look at when Pastor Evan came out, the support he had was phenomenal. But people have, with Hopewell, it's just been like, noise on social media and that's it. People have given up.
And the worst thing I fear about Hopewell, one of my heroes of the liberation struggle is General Lukau Masul. Illustrious history. They shot down 2 Rhodesian Airways planes. Not that we should be celebrating death, but those are the things that brought the colonial regime to the negotiating table, including the bombing of the fuel depots in Harare. So he was the commander of the Zipra forces. Guess what? This guy, for the reward he got for fighting for the country is that he was jailed for 5 years and died in prison.
After the case was dismissed.
After the case was dismissed in court, he was jailed for five years and died literally as a prisoner of the regime without conviction or whatever. And I'm thinking, if you can do that to a decorated hero of the liberation struggle, Hopewell, guys, I don't know.
Let's not put negative energy.
I don't want to be
but it's not about putting negative energy. I think it's about being real. Like, that is how ruthless ZANU-PF is.
Yeah, I get that
completely. And I think people need to. I know we don't want that on him, but that's where my frustration comes in, which is like, okay, we're tweeting. I think people are doing the best that they can, but this is where I don't want to repeat like our episode we had with Saturday in the morning. This is where politicians come in, right? Because I don't think you're not just in politics for 2023 or for when you're elected.
100%, yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, like Nelson Chamisa, what? Why have you been quiet? Because I've been quiet all week.
His mom died and his uncle died straight after.
Yeah.
Just give me some space to breathe.
No, but maybe it's a critique of the structures of the party because we shouldn't feel
fair,
that vacuum if he's
Ufatsai has been like really good, like I feel like in the comms and in like kind of really mobilizing people, like, and I think not physically mobilizing people, but I think on more of a, like on the platform, she's been very visible. She has been really active. And I think that's that. And I think that is what I personally have been looking for, in that I'm looking for somebody to kind of come out and say, oh, you know what, guys, just to acknowledge that that Zimbabwean Lives Matter is a movement driven by a lot of, frustrations politically, economically from healthcare. And just to say, okay, just to kind of stand in front of us and be like, yeah, I acknowledge all this. And this is what I'm saying to you. But at the same time, not to kind of to go back to like our episode with Saturday in the morning. It's also just about, we are the people that we are waiting for, I understand, like, when Umkudze was saying to why are we looking for somebody? For me, I'm looking for somebody to kind of really be the person to get us together in essence, and move, or whether lead us from behind or lead from the front.
Yeah, because the thing is, right now at this very, very moment, right, who is the person who, if they did something, the regime would have trouble because it would bring more spotlight to them. There's a few, and I think it's the leader of the opposition, right? I'm sorry, what? Oh, let me not say, but I just think, yeah, because that's why people will be saying, oh, but MTC councillors are getting imprisoned. Of course they will be, because like there's something that has to be done, which is now at scale. Like if let me not name check, let's just say if I were leader of the main opposition that is recognized as being the main opposition, right? and I stood up and maybe said something, there's something about just speaking from the heart so that people understand that you're like, you know what, this is wrong, right? People need to hear you. Tweeting is not enough. People need to hear you. People need to see you. It takes nothing to take your phone and do a 50-second video and just say, you know what, I hear you. There's another thing, which is depending on people's risk threshold, right? If you were to, I don't know, do whatever, I just think, why do we have fearful leaders?
That's what Hopewell and Jacob did. They
But-
just
no,
spoke,
but-
and then look at where they are today.
And
Yes.
Paul Jacob's been forgotten in all this.
Oh, yes.
Fearful
Yeah.
leader. No one's mentioning
Yeah.
Jacob.
Yeah.
No, but what I'm saying, but what I'm trying to say is, yes, but I'm saying who right now in Zim, if they were to do that, would cause a problem. I'm just saying.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Who
for me,
right
for me, it's
now?
a difficult thing because I mean, you speak of the leader of the recognized opposition, but you know, when I say statements like I'm about to say, people don't look at the content; they just look at the message, as in that you're kind of criticizing the opposition.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the opposition itself, it's failed to put its house in order, and it casts a bit of confidence. It leaves us with doubts. So you hear statements from people of Zimbabwe saying, Nkosana Moyo, the best manifesto, but he didn't have the numbers. If we look at the young Robert Mugabe, he was popular, but people knew his errors. Where are we going to end up with this madness?
Yeah, but I think we're at the same point as like I saw people online talk about the whole Biden Kamala Harris thing, right? And people were like, listen, guys, we don't have time for this person. Like, we need to get Trump out.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's where we are. We literally need to get ZANU-PF out. And that's why I always say, like, when you get them out, the real work begins.
Absolutely.
Like, because you have to hold them accountable. You have to
100.
make sure that, you know, the Constitution, as it now says, that no one can serve more than 2 terms, right? That is kept. But yeah, sorry, guys, politics.
And we literally have got like half an hour left. So guys, let's go into our
Zimbabwean lives matter.
100%.
Zimbabwean lives matter.
Every day.
Yes.
Every day Zimbabwean lives matter, guys.
Yeah.
But so can we just go into one of the things that we talked about, we spent time talking about Zimbabwean lives matter in our previous episodes. So can we just go back at previous episodes and just really spend some time looking at some comments, you know, and just reminiscing on those those episodes.
So I think maybe like we'll start, like we talked about the Zim Lives Matter.
Yeah, so you should just start there.
There's were there any sort of like
so on Twitter there was Ndi Sharina who said so we obviously had a joint episode with Zaza and the AM boys. So shout out to them and thank you again for joining us. So Charlene at Ndi Sharina says, I always found podcasts deathly boring, but only now did I realize it was because none of them were relatable or focused on things I care about. But now I'm spoilt for choice, for fun, light-hearted political commentary. It starts in the morning and Galen Skies are the plug. Then there was someone who tweeted. Also, I don't have a favorite, but this is one of the things that really touched me on Zimbabwean Lives Matter. So a girl called Josie Soul says that at Girl in Skies Zimbabwe podcast is lit. So she put the emoji. It's hilarious. It's also been shining light on the crisis in Zimbabwe and life as Zimbabweans. And she highlighted some of her favorite episodes and she said it's for a non-academic crash course on what's been happening and how we got here. So thank you for that. That means a lot to me. And then we had listening to, so this is at Kuda_NY says, listening to Girl in Sky's latest collab with at the Saza in the AM pod, and they talked about lessons from Zimbabwe Lives Matter. I liked how everyone took initiative with the hashtag and how decentralized it was. There's power in the movement and not being centered on a person. So again, it's about that whole leadership thing. So there's a few more comments, like, guys, we could spend the whole night like on that. But Any that stood out for you from that episode?
Yeah, I think you've touched them all. On Instagram, Kimberly Bebe said, I think these people in power were child soldiers, most of them. They learned how to kill at a young age, so they're now heartless.
Yes.
Which I think is probably
true.
right.
Wow. It's so true.
Yeah.
Nail on the head. Yeah. Any more?
No, I think that's it from that one. I really enjoyed. Do you know an episode that I enjoyed is the motherhood one? So thank you to Naughty for joining us.
Yeah,
I thought that was really interesting, and hopefully we'll have a part 2 at some point, because actually, so you guys were really open about your experience. Actually, so Use, to our friend, was like, oh, I would have loved to be part of this conversation, because she works as a prenatal practitioner.
Nice. Okay.
So maybe that's something that we can look at
in the
next
future.
time.
Yeah, for sure.
But so shout out to
and literally shout out to all baby mamas out there. I had a few people who hit me up on my DMs just talking about how about their experiences as being teenage moms as well. So really, I won't name you by name, but really shout out to you, and like honestly, Aluta continua.
Yeah.
Continue being the great mothers that you already are.
And then obviously we had the Dr. Gosana episode
God.
that had people. That one was interesting. First of all, thank you so much to Dr. Gosana for taking the time to talk to us. He did not have to, but he did. I think even before we had the interview, he was really like, he just treated us like people. Like he didn't have like that air of like, oh, I'm more important than you. Like it felt like talking to like an uncle. Like he was really like, he's a really nice man. You know what I mean? He treated. I remember because my aunt was at home and she was listening to the Zoom thing, right? And then she was like, oh, you know what? He was so kind to you guys. And she was like, oh, because he was kind to you, like, like she's a fan of him now. So thank you so much to Dr. Nkosana for, making that happen. And obviously, as we move forward, we'll have our critiques of politics, but, it doesn't take away from, I think, the good in the man. So
yeah, I'd also like to say that he's the only second celebrity or a big person that's ever answered a tweet from me.
Oh, yes, because you tweeted him, right?
I tweeted him, and and he actually responded, and it's like, wow, this guy's got time for people.
Yeah. And I think your tweet kind of like then kind of led to it made it kind of easier for us to get that interview.
Really?
Actually, so we might as well move on to like so we had the guys, the takeover from you guys. So no, I really enjoyed that episode. I want to re-listen to it. So we had Dumto, we had Tabo, we had Ndaba, and we had Lee, who's with us here.
Hello, guys.
For a part 2.
Yeah, no, because so there were some comments on Instagram, like Uvuyo was like, enjoyed this episode much, great insights. TMB was like, great talk, nothing better than knowing who you really are and living that truth. Because I think you guys were talking about preservation of culture, like, you touched on a lot. You talked about Black Lives Matter. You talked about, just the experience of being Black men. So I think that was, how did you find that?
Wow, no, I really enjoyed the podcast. The thing is, I don't think we guys ever create platforms for ourselves to talk about these things.
Yeah.
When we go to the pub, it's all about the bravado. Oh, I've got a Porsche now, and like it's never.
I've got a Porsche.
Yeah,
I hear you.
It's never about stuff that's close to home. So it was quite. And when we did that podcast, I was able to reflect on myself as well, and the life I live here in the UK, and funnily enough, like I think we did the podcast on a Wednesday or Thursday. I got stopped by the police on the Sunday. And the reason I got stopped was, the car's not registered in the area. So, they were polite and whatnot, but I didn't really mind that too much.
Yeah.
But what happened after, about 2 weeks later, we were driving. I'm with my daughter. She's in the back seat, and then she sees a police car, and she's like, "Daddy, there's a police car. We need to behave ourselves." And I was actually shocked because I've never actually had the discussion with my daughter about police or whatever. But she, at her young age, she's
internalized.
She's 4, and I can't believe a 4-year-old is now conditioned to be, be suspicious about the police, because I've always respected police. I love try and love police and whatnot.
I try and love police.
Love is a bit of a strong.
Okay.
Love is a bit of a strong word. I love them so much.
They try and keep order, but they get it wrong sometimes. And I'm willing to always give them the benefit of the doubt. But when my daughter was like, daddy, it was literally a police car going past us. Daddy, there's a police car. We need to behave ourselves. And I was thinking, probably all the time I've seen police, I've conditioned her to think.
I think you've got certain reflexes. I'm not talking you per se, but most people, you find if there's blue lights behind you, your first instinct is to reduce your volume. Why you're doing that, I've got no idea.
It's so true.
So you're conditioned, without even noticing.
So I think that was the first instance. But then what then backed it up for me is that I worked at a place before, and there were like 20 people in the office. I was the only one who had ever been stopped by the police. But I get stopped by the police at least 2 or 3 times a year. I had people I was working with who were like 60.
Yeah.
And they've never had an encounter with the police. And I was astounded, if that's a word. Yeah, that's a word. I was astounded that there are people who've never been stopped by the police in their lives. I have to deal every time I see a police car. I'm now scared because the tread on your tires could run out, and if you're not monitoring it every month, you could be done for that. I'm part of a car club. Oh, yeah.
For
okay.
What?
No, we modify cars and whatever. But then all those guys can modify their cars and whatever and do all sorts of things. There's this modification called a straight piping, where you take out the catalytic converter. Anyway, I'm going to technical stuff, but I know.
Don't incriminate yourself.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is I haven't done it, but then I know all the other guys could do it, and if they get stopped, they'll just say, okay, yeah, whatever. But if I get stopped, they'll try and find anything that they could pick on, and if I do a straight pipe, that's me done. But it's just one of those things where Black Lives Matter came in, and it's shown a spotlight on quite a lot of injustices that we have as Black men. And like I say, the highlight for me is like we do the recording on a Wednesday, and on Sunday I get stopped. That was literally 6 months after my last stop. The last stop I had was apparently my number plate is slightly discolored. Yeah, and I don't think people get stopped for that sort of thing. But and then we had Dawn Butler this week with Bianca Williams getting stopped. And funny enough, these people didn't get charged with anything. But then there's all these innuendos. You had dark windows. You didn't stop for the police. They didn't get charged with anything, but you could get accused of all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But,
comparatively, do you think Britain's similar to America, or you'd say America's worse in terms of Black people's human rights?
It's a different type of racism. So like, I think the racism we face here in the UK is a bit more clever. It's
subtle.
It's subtle.
It's very subtle.
It's not like, oh, you N-word. Oh, yeah. No, it's not like that. It's a bit more subtle. I'll give this example again, and it's a classic example. So a previous place I used to work, they recruit apprentices every year. They did a recruitment program, and they did a recruitment program 10 miles away from the actual office.
Yeah.
Guess what? There's schools less than 1 mile away from the office. But guess what? Because it's in London, North London, where there's lots of Black people. They decided not to recruit from there. They decided to go outside, push outside to I'll name the places. I worked in Enfield, and they recruited people from Potter's Bar.
Wow.
To come and do apprenticeships. And I was literally 2 meters away from the HR office. And I was kind of hearing all this, and yeah, it was literally racism hardcore, because obviously London, North London, lots of Black people.
Yeah.
If you just go 10 miles away, Potter's Bar, the racial statistics turn. So it's just little things like that. So this Black Lives Matter has been amazing.
It's been amazing. And you know the thing is as well, like so a cause that I am on at the moment in Zini is there is this leadership and management module that they're doing for staff. So basically, you know, if you're in leadership or in management, there's various tiers that you can kind of step into, right? In order to qualify for this course that is over an 18-month period, so you're putting in your work and you're working alongside this. In order to qualify for this, you need to have, obviously, they want you to have GCSEs, which I think is a good thing. However, they want you to have GCSEs from, like you need to have like a C, A, B, or C, but they need to be from UK-based, a UK-based school, right?
What?
So then I emailed like my HR person, and I said, you may recall that because there was this course that I wanted to do, which was sponsored by another outside university, and she declined it, and I emailed her. I was like, you may recall that you declined the particular course that I wanted to do and you pointed me towards the leadership and management module that is in-house, right? And so now here I am. I'm actually finding that I am unable to go into it because number one, I am Zimbabwean, and number two, my GCSEs are, I have ZimSec. I don't even have Cambridge. I have ZimSec. I passed math and English, but in order for me to do this, I would need to take math and English again.
That is ridiculous, right?
And I said to her, I was like, you guys are not ready for me. You are not ready. So then all of a sudden, so I like a week later, they're now asking, they're like, oh, we want to kind of hear about everybody who is maybe not feeling included, or so in diversity in inclusion. And I've volunteered myself. I'm like, I want to speak on behalf of those people who cannot speak for themselves. Like, how unfair is that?
What does a leadership course, what does where you did your school
matter
to do with your leadership?
I have a master's.
In a leadership position you have already been doing.
And
what does that have to do with anything?
And I have a master's. There's people who then go on to university. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, do you know, this is how you get, this is a pure definition of systemic racism or institutionalism, whatever it is. Because the people up at the top, we are not given the same opportunity. So here I am, Muntu Mnyama, I'm not given the same opportunity as my peers who have gone to like schools in the UK. So they can do that and then automatically gets fired up, or hired up. Whereas I stay on the same level with my freaking masters.
But listen to this one. It works two ways, this thing of being a minority. Because it could work to your advantage where you become a statistic in the company, where you are hired just to fill in that
100
tick box. So, someone I know was applying for a position in the army, like a higher rank, went for the interview, and his white friend says to him, listen, just tell them you're black, gay, and Muslim. You'll get the job.
Because you tick three boxes.
You tick all 3 boxes, you're in.
Wow.
So that's the sort of thing we're
But
dealing
the thing is, I hear that, but sometimes the problem with that is they recruit like wanting diversity, right? But then because they are not recruiting you into an environment that is inclusive, from the start, you're going to fail, right? Because it's not an inclusive environment. So you find that the people they don't stay on. A lot of people leave, right? Because they do that checkbox exercise, whereas actually you need to be inclusive to the point where you develop the talent that you have so that they stay on and get on. But I know I just wanted to read there's some comments from that episode there, looks and the takeover one. Someone was like, Deborah Faye on YouTube was like, as a Ndebele woman living in the diaspora, I really resonated with this talk. And Nomakara was like, love this. We need more convos like this. Ayanda Ngube said, love to see it. Ndebele men having open, honest, and candid conversations. Will Moya said, I really enjoyed this takeover. So
wow.
So it sounds like it sounds like you guys need to do a part 2. So
I agree.
We need to do a part 2.
Yeah.
It's up to you. we ain't telling you. But maybe.
This is a bit awkward, but we humbly accept.
I'm ready, man. Ready for it.
So you need to rally up for Tapela, we'll
do it. Do you know? I think we need to do a post-mortem of the Black Lives Matter thing, because so before I'll lay my cards on the table. I'm a Brexiteer.
Sorry, what?
I'm a Brexiteer. Yeah, and I know it isolates me from my community.
Sorry, why did this have to come out?
No, I'm just
We've
trying
always
to.
known.
Yes, we've always known. But
I'm trying to articulate where I'm coming from. So I've always supported the idea that countries need to try and do a bit more for themselves and whatnot. Yeah. But then through my ideals, I befriended quite a lot of people who are on the right of politics in this country. And back then, I thought they
now
were
Sean Bailey.
I thought they were, honestly, I'm one of those people. I'm humble enough to say, I got it wrong, because I thought these people were on the side of values, democracy, and whatever. But then they disguised their ideal of values and democracy. But they're actually racists, but then they disguised it and by saying that we are Democrats and whatever. And and this Black Lives Matter, what it did for me is that it got all the racists out. You actually got to hear what their real views on stuff or on things were. And I do not regret supporting Brexit. I still support it. But then the sort of people who did support Brexit are the enemies of Black Lives Matter. And that's literally what's emerged for me. And Yeah, I was a supporter of.
At least you. I mean,
I know. Well
I
done.
mean,
Well done for coming
Yeah, oh no,
out and saying that.
No, I'm humble enough to admit that I was wrong supporting. I still support Brexit. I will not stop supporting that. But that's a conversation.
Anyway, that's a different conversation.
But but it's a conversation for another day. But I think the crowd of people I started getting associated with.
So were you in those racial chat rooms?
Oh my God.
You know, apparently, like,
How?
Yeah.
wait, because those racial chat, they're weird. Like, sometimes they'll be showing each other feet and stuff.
No. It's not that. It's not that bad.
You haven't developed fetishes.
No.
There'll be fetishes in those racial chats. And then you have the one black person who's like...
He was like, oh, actually,
Yeah.
I'm here.
No. Yeah. But, you know, like, I think some of the gains we had from the BLM, Nigel Farage got fired from LBC. That was good.
Oh, did he?
He had
I
a
didn't know that.
huge crowd. He had a really good
Is it just
following.
because of what he was his comments or
No, it's just if you're racist anyway, you're able to cover it up for ages.
But there'll be a point
he was
where...
so good at doing it,
Yeah.
but then he slipped up one day.
What did he
What
say?
did he say?
I can't remember what it was, but then he slipped up in the same way that Katie Hopkins, when she was in LBC, she slipped up and she got sacked. But then Katie Hopkins, she had followership of over 2 million on Twitter.
And they,
Yep, she's been kicked
off
out.
Twitter.
Oh, she's off Twitter.
She's bad.
She's bought. It wasn't by choice. Yeah, she's off Twitter, and I think that was a result of Black Lives Matter. And then I really loved how the sports arena responded to Black Lives Matter. The Confederate flag, for example, is banned from all sporting events in America now. Because they used to the Confederate flag is always associated with racist people.
Yeah,
I don't want to simplify it literally that way, but then lots of racist people associate with the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
It's now banned from sporting events. That was good. Literally all the Premier League clubs which have got lots of black people did the kneel by Kaepernick. Yeah. Do you guys notice on Netflix, when you go on Netflix these days, there's now a black movie section?
Yeah.
I think that's a victory for Black Lives Matter.
Well, talk about Netflix.
But one more thing. Can I say one more thing about
yes,
Netflix?
Yes, you can.
Netflix now, they have designed a specific policy whereby some of their money will be banked with black banks.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's there's been
is there a black bank
in America?
In America,
is there a black bank?
Well, it's owned by black people.
Is it?
I think they are in America, but small. They're small.
But you know, like Netflix. The way I got this is Netflix put out a statement actually saying that they've decided to make a conscious choice to stop banking with black banks. So you know, I
It's a good step.
thought that was good. And something else that emerged from Black Lives Matter. They did the research into COVID deaths in the UK, and it was found that there's a racial correlation to black people dying. Linked to racism. I don't know if you guys saw.
Yeah, like black people are 4 times more likely to die.
Yeah, and
it's linked to the socioeconomic conditions.
Yeah,
because a lot of people live in like overcrowded housing.
Yeah.
People are sharing. People are living in like tower blocks and stuff. So obviously, like there's a link. What I don't know is in terms of like social mobility, how are they going to help people?
Yeah. I mean, but it's good that they've highlighted the fact that there's a racial link between you being black and dying of COVID. I've actually had to have very awkward conversations at work
Oh,
and
really?
with my neighbors.
Why?
It was kind of like, oh, do you know someone that's died of COVID?
Mm.
They at work, no one knows anyone that's died of COVID.
Yeah. Whereas
My neighbors don't. But then I had to explain to them that I've got people that I know that have died of COVID. So then again, it's one. But my wife works for the NHS, and she's been protected. She's ever since the Black Lives Matter thing happened, she's been protected. They've made it a priority to protect her, and I'm grateful for the. I think it's the Black Lives Matter movement. If it wasn't for that,
we had we had to fill out some forms to kind of saying, if you're Black, or so not just Black but Black, Asian, ethnic minorities, we've kind of been sectioned, but it's, I fight for my rights, because I'm like, so even the way that we operate is different. One of the procedures that like the consultants I work with do is an aerosol generating procedure. So before COVID, it was something that was done in the same room, like you do it in the same consulting room. Now they have to step out and do it, and yes. Or the other time, one doctor was like, "Oh, I'm going to do it in the room." I was like, "Well, that's the end of my clinic, because I'm done. I can't be in this room, But yeah, it was all good.
Yeah.
And then I think, just going back again on our episodes, we had that episode with Sunyati on her book, The Gold Diggers. So that was honestly a shout out to Sue. Thank you for your time for sharing your thoughts and just really spending time with us to talk about the book. So just some comments about that. So I'll just read one actually, because there's so many comments. One, who's this? Says at DDZ Matara, says the characters are so relatable and hit so close to home that you cannot help but feel teary at certain events. The Gold Diggers also made me aware of the perils of illegal immigration, had never fully appreciated how much people sacrifice and stand to lose. And I think that was the beauty of that book. It was literally, it raised such awareness on so many different things, like child trafficking, that whole border jumping. It's not just border jumping. It's just literally the impact that even things like sexual abuse, which we then touched on in a separate episode, things like that just have a massive impact on people. So thank you to Sunyati for that.
Yes, thank you. So I wanted to talk about, when you mentioned Netflix, I got triggered because, so basically a few years ago, right? I think I shared with y'all how one day I went on my Netflix and I was locked out
after you
by my landlord, right? Google Pay. I really hope that man never listens to this podcast.
He probably does,
Nah, I think he would have.
Did he say something?
No, but he probably doesn't even know. I call him Google Pay. But anyway, I want to explain why I call him Google Pay. Anyway.
Something to do with
no, but I was trying about Google Evers. Anyway, so last week, I got my Netflix again, right? Locked out. I said, wow. God is my landlord. I said, what is going on?
I am the landlord.
I said,
and then?
Wait, sorry. You call him Ngungu Bay?
Yeah.
But we've moved on from that. She's not talking about a separate attack.
That happened. So now a year, 2 years ago.
A while ago.
Can we just go back to why we call him Ngungu?
Oh,
because there's no.
You guys have because have you ever been to the embassy?
Oh, okay.
I'm trying Google.
So he was one of them. Why are you trying?
What?
Okay, all right. Cool.
Man, thank God for this flag. Oh, those days were lit.
I'll tell you.
So you went like it ingungu and everything.
We're fighting for the country.
Wow.
Being activists. And then, yeah. But like I said, I hope he never...
So you're using his Netflix?
I was. And then one time I went on and I couldn't access it.
Did you text to say?
I text and I said, "Oh, thank you so much for what did I say? I was just like, "Oh, thank you so much for letting me use your Netflix. Really appreciated it. Thank you." And then was a reply to cool. Because I thought that was gonna be the trigger
to say,
say this is another password, right? So anyway, we move. Then I now got another landlord call. So we've had, I feel like, a great relationship for a year or so.
Somebody didn't pay their rent on time.
And then I go on to watch my Netflix. I'm like, I'm there with my snacks. I went to M&S. I got my M&S cans. I said, yeah,
I'm ready.
I said, let's watch this Indian matchmaking.
It's gone.
It's gone.
The login page comes up. I said, I put the sign in. I said,
it's difficult.
I said, oh,
So let me tell you my side of the story.
I don't know how you explain this.
So I obviously I am a very generous landlord. I am a person for the people. And then somebody, so you can only create, is it 4 or 5 profiles?
Yeah.
Now I'm listening to this one because I didn't ask for an explanation. I just said,
so Utamara, obviously, she gives the password and stuff. So you look at in you told it solo muito also create a profile. Wapala uncle. Wait, that is not it. So this person creates a profile, says uncle, changes a profile that is already there to
Did
uncle.
they change my one?
I don't know. Is yours still the squatter, right?
Yeah, mine was squatter.
I think yours is still, I don't know if they even changed squatter. Because one of them is now called uncle. I'm like, I don't know any uncles. Man, I haven't finished. Umalume nalo. Whoever this malume is, if you're listening, then puts a pin. That's lock. I'm like, nigga, what? You're coming into my house and you want to put a lock on the door.
What does it mean? It means you can't access.
You can't access the profile. And do you know, I swear to God, I don't bother with people's profiles. I wouldn't go into see what you're because I'm not interested. I'm interested in what I'm watching. Yeah. And I don't want anyone messing up my programs and stuff. But this person actually puts them what I saw a padlock. Padlock. I'm like, who put a padlock? I was so pissed off. And I was just
in your own account.
In my own account. So I can't access it. I'm like, not that I want to access it, but I think it's just freaking disrespectful. Yeah. Over your padlock and you call yourself uncle. I was like, I don't know any uncles. Yeah. So I changed the password.
Yeah.
But I told you the password.
The situation it reminds me, I'm shared houses there. So I shared some guy from Nigeria. I'm pay Australia, Nandi. What a pen you are to do fun when Nigeria look at vest so go to see them. You didn't put enough pepper in this.
No, man. No, that's so rude. It's rude. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah.
No. I don't know how patient you are with your Netflix. I've logged in at lunchtime. We're working from home. I want to catch up on something or the other, and then it says too many people are logged in. And then I just leave it.
Exactly. What can you do?
What can you do?
What can you do? You phone someone to Puma.
Yeah, exactly.
Has that ever happened to to you.
No.
Then the worst thing is, so you've gone online then to see who's logged on. I've seen logins from Iceland. I don't know anyone from Iceland. And like
your password has been shared.
Yeah, it's been shared, but I don't know. I don't want to confront people.
No.
But you're the one who pays.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's the price of a cocktail per month. So that, but it's maybe it's the principle.
Yeah, I think it's the principle. Because you keep getting I get loads of emails oh, we've got a new sign in on your account in wherever in this region.
Yeah.
Do you know? I'm just I can't. That doesn't bother me. I haven't got to the stage. I know that there's a few people who have login details, so it doesn't bother me because I know also how Tamara's friends. I know that it's neither here nor there, and I want Netflix for myself. So but don't freaking come onto my account and create and call yourself uncle and then put a pin.
I hear you, and you know what I meant? I was like, what should I do? Should I do Google Pay? Oh, and so I have to explain. So with Google Pay's Netflix, I was specifically told not to set up my own profile.
Yeah, man.
Because I post that show, it got to a point where we're now homies, bururus, comrades.
Okay.
And basically, so that I don't mess up I guess his Netflix and chill sessions.
Wow.
So then I had created a profile, but I had
painful.
put my initial or something, right? Then I went on Xolie's one, and I put squatter. So can you see how I've been suffering for 3 years?
Wow.
I've never. So then I was like, what should I do? Should I text Xolie and just say, oh, thank you for...
What did you do?
No, I just texted. I was like, Netflix lol.
And I told you immediately.
I said Netflix lol.
Wow.
And then she said no. And then
nothing. No update project password.
And then I think 20 minutes later.
Wow.
She's
that is not
but because I had already moved on to a third landlord, so we'll see how this one goes.
Wow.
I'm on my third landlord, but this one, it's the first one where I've put my name as a profile.
Wow.
So you've got good reviews.
Yeah. I just want to put out a message. Whoever logged in from Portsmouth in my Netflix, your days are numbered.
It's taking the password.
She's the password.
Yeah, but okay, on another. No. I shared too much on this podcast.
No, come on. Tell us.
Yeah. If somebody gives you their Netflix, Disney Plus details, I mean, it means you're getting married, right?
But Natasha Mangako Saturday 21:38 Netflix passwords immediately after. Then I said laugh out loud.
What happened?
You sent me a message on Saturday at 21:38. I responded immediately after because we then had a conversation about your new Netflix account with you and this person and your children. I'm looking
your children?
No!
There's a children.
I'm checking the picture. No. Netflix automatically has a child profile, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think automatically it has a children profile. So I was given the details and I was like, look at this. It has the person's name, my name, children. I said, God, what other sign do I need from you? But no, that's me and my Netflix. Then I think we wanted to kind of talk about. Well, you wanted to we're supposed to talk about this at the top about thanking Abantu.
Oh yeah, indeed. So yeah, so shout out to everybody who has sent us money in our PayPal. Just going to bring up my PayPal details.
Yes, guys. You know what? Thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to us. I think Glenn and I tweeted that when we reached our episode 50, that this is a labor of love.
It really
is,
yeah.
We really appreciate all the support, all the retweets, all the comments. I think there's nothing like when you put something out and then people receive it, even if it's one or two people that they receive it, it really means a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously, as we've said to you guys, that, you know, again, it's a labor of love. We self-fund, we come to the studio. Obviously, lockdown has meant that we had to be a bit creative with Zoom and stuff. So actually, you guys don't really understand, like, even the little that we get, like £5.
It means a lot,
like,
yeah.
I know you're gonna read out the people, but when you do, I do want to share a story about September last year. You may not remember, because there was two people who sent us money, and literally we were so broke at the time, and that money that they sent us literally stretched us for a month.
Yeah, I remember.
Because it covered, and it was the first time since we had started doing the podcast that we had actually, I think it was the first time we'd really received money and all. And it was the first time,
and like a substantial amount.
Yeah, it was the first, because it covered 4 episodes. Like, and it was the first time when literally like you were coming and we felt like, you know, we're not paying because it's per hour, right? And yeah, I know you're going to read that, but I specifically, because I know it was BK and Tabo.
And
at
Tabo.
That time,
so Tabo
like,
has been like
such
a constant supporter for us. So this week we had money from Nyasha Zashe Makoni. So I think she's the Nyati, the THE. So thank you very much. Also, can we also just talk about our first advertising deal?
Advertising deal. No, so thank you guys to Groceries.com.
Why are you laughing though?
I know I should laugh.
So got money from him, obviously. Tabo Gama, Woka Moyo. Send us some money as well.
Nosizwe.
Yeah, sorry, Nosizwe. She says you're doing amazing, ladies. Ayanda Ncube, the vintage closet, who I think is naughty. Tabo again.
Oh wow.
Tabo again. Big BK. So yeah, these are literally all the people who have actually sent us some money.
Yeah.
In the past. So guys, thank you very much. And if I haven't mentioned you as well.
No, I think that's everyone. So guys, thank you so much. Please thank them for us. Because like we said, it really means a lot. Because like literally you'd be like, oh my God. Because even like So thank you. And obviously if you like what we're doing, please do support us. There's links to our PayPal. There's also like links to Buy Me Coffee. So like if you like our episode, you can help us power on by buying us coffee. But the links will be there.
Where the links are
on all our social. I am glad you have asked.
Yeah, well,
because
I've actually asked you this before, because like, you know, when you do your Gillen Skies on Twitter, I've never actually seen the link. So how
it comes on at the.
Is it the?
I think we put it subtly. I think.
Is it too subtle?
No, I don't know. Maybe it's too subtle. I don't know.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll look up.
It's there. To be fair, you kind of have to. It's there. But maybe we don't like.
Yeah, honestly, if I'd seen it, but anyway, I'll look for it.
Yeah. No. That's fine. And what else? So no, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone.
Tabo, you're a legend.
No, yes. Tabo has been supportive from a day dot. So
he really has. Yeah.
And I know that he's not just supportive to us. Like I see him supporting other people, and I think that's so great. And also shout outs to even like Huenko. See, like she's always like. She's always like really supportive online. So it really means a lot to us. And I guess you guys, like, if you have any ideas about what you want us to talk about when we come back, tweet us and
let us know
all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to we don't have a lot of time, but I just quickly wanted to we've been doing we used to do like on my Instagram lives, you know, like talking different topics and stuff. And actually, we have to apologize because there's some people who sent us emails like with their like dilemmas that they wanted us to sort of like read out.
Mm-hmm.
Apologies, we haven't got to that at all. But there's one that I wanted to, but you know, next season we will. Some of these will still like answer them. Hopefully, it won't be too late. But someone sent a really short one. So the person was saying, the person was like, he's like, okay, he's like, hi Nat and Xolie. Guys, I'm still shaking my head from yesterday's Instagram live, where we got a demonstration of. So basically, what happened? There was a live where someone showed us a toy.
What kind of toy?
A sex toy.
Oh.
Yeah. So then the person says, the person says, I just want to it's like, okay, so I've been with the mother of my child for 6 years. And then he's like, so I'm just he's like, oh, I'm your typical Ndebele guy. But actually that live opened up my eyes. And then the question was, one, where do you know, he's like, maybe you may not know. He's like, but do you know where I could get a toy in July? And then number two, he's like, how do I bring up the subject? He's like, no, because the way you girls were talking about it, it looks like you enjoy it a lot. And I want to try it. So,
he wants to try it.
Yeah, he's like, please don't read out my name. So yeah. I mean, I picked that one because I mean that is a timeless question. I don't know. So guys, if you're listening, I don't know where I don't know. Xolie, do you know?
I don't.
You don't get involved in this sort of stuff.
No, this is Natasha's department.
What the hell? How is it my department? No, but then I just wanted. That's what it's actually we told people to email us. Somebody emailed us that, and that's what they wanted to know.
No, I hear you.
So
can they be DM'd?
I can reply them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
just in case someone wants to DM them, they can DM to you and then.
Yes. If somebody has an answer, they can discreetly about it particularly way. But I think like the part 2, like, oh no, we deleted that live.
Deleted? Oh my God.
I was gonna say like share it with your partner so that she can watch it and see.
And you need to be very gentle with the sharing business, you know.
No. I meant like to broach the subject because that's what he's saying is like, how do I even start? But
we say, oh,
yeah, but like I'm saying, we don't even have the thing. No, but anyway, it's about find something like and just broach the subject. I think communication is key, guys. Like,
100, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why people are scared, but yeah, that's communication. And yeah.
Wow.
Yo, the way Xolie is so quiet, I hate you.
What do you mean?
You have nothing to say?
You did was it the live that you did? And then someone.
What do you mean I did?
Then someone came on. I'm just trying to remember it.
Oh, there was someone, but no, and shout out to all our IG Live family, fake account gang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
So yeah, for the previous one, I'll DM you and then you DM them.
You have a solution?
I've got a solution, yeah. So.
Okay.
Oh, are we allowed to do shout outs?
Yeah.
Okay. So there is a Insta page called
Highball. They have to pay us.
I don't know them.
I
don't know them. But then they're called Intimate Store Zimbabwe on Instagram.
I think I've heard of them.
Yeah, and they're on my block list because they requested me, and like. But yeah, they are there.
Disclaimer.
They supply all sorts. I looked at their page and yeah, it should be good.
Okay.
Yes, Mama, no.
I mean, the really man.
Put on they're on my block list, but you know them.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
I mean, the really men guys, like, you know how we do.
And then God, what to do? Yeah, so we wanted to. This is where you're supposed to like come in and
talk about Similo.
Yeah. Yeah. No, so I think this period has been very difficult and it's just been such a heavy period for a lot of people, hey. Yeah, no, so last month in July, lost my cousin and a dear friend and a dear friend to so many people, Similo Zikali. And yeah, like it's just, I think for me, that's probably like one of the reasons why I even just want to take time out. Because it just feels like everything's just been go, go, go.
Yeah.
And there's just been no time to reflect. And like Similo was, gosh, like I can't even, like she was just such a great person. I think her passing took everyone by surprise. It's really, really, really painful. She was young and it's just been, I even remember like when we started the pod, like Similo was so supportive. Like she'd always be like, oh yeah, I'm auntie, whatever. So yeah, no, I just wanted to kind of, I don't know, shout her out or I don't know. It just sometimes these things feel a bit vacuous, right? But yeah, like it has been such a just such a difficult time, and even talking about her in the past tense just feels like such a disservice. It feels really cruel. It just, I think for me, it's like there's something about when someone like your age mate passes away, that's so different that I had never like experienced ever before. I mean, I know people who've been younger than me, older, whatever, like who've passed, but like this has, like someone that you speak to and are in communication with, like constantly, and then they pass, and it kind of feels like, and I think people who are like your age mates, right? They're like, you kind of gauge life like through them in a way. And for me, like Similo, like she, yeah, like her passing just kind of feels like, like you talk to someone and you have like shared hopes and shared dreams. You're always talking and like, oh, what's sharp, this will be okay. And then like when like they pass, it just feels like, like it feels personal because it feels like all my hopes and dreams too have died. Do you know what I mean? And like, like Similo, she's just such an angel. Like, I don't know if you like joined some of the Zoom, like everyone who had anything to say about her was just like, she was just always good vibes. She was just, yeah.
It's hard, yeah. No, I didn't know her personally, but had some interaction with her like on social media and stuff. And yeah, the Zooms were literally like the Zoom services that were had for her were just testaments to her goodness, her kindness, her love that she had for people. Yeah, so rest in peace, Similo. I think it's been really hard, like, and what you were saying earlier about it. Do you know somebody who's died like over this period? And just like, you remember Lindy passed away, like my stepsister passed away in South Africa as well. so I guess, it's not even a shout out to her, but it's just, there's been a lot of hurt, I think, in the past few months and past few, it's been a difficult time. But yeah, it's hard when young people our age, when we're starting to lose people, when we are that age group where we are now like, we taste esimayo, so to speak. It's difficult. But yeah, big love to you.
I didn't know Similo until she passed away. But every single person I know, from people of my relatives, people of my friends, had everything good to say about her. So I happened to be free. I think it was a Tuesday evening. I decided to join the Zoom because the Jews Zoom was public, and I don't know. I've just never been to a place where everyone's just saying so much good from the heart. Where people they're not just saying it. They're people who are breaking down and crying and saying, "This was such a good person," and I actually never seen that in my life. And I wish one day I'm like that as well.
Do you know something about you? Do you know? And I think I've said this to you as well before. Not that I want you, I'm not wishing death upon you, but I'm not. I mean, what I totally adore about you and your family is, and I've said this to you 1,000 times, I'll say it again, is that you are the sort of person who uyamela abantu.
Yeah, you've said that.
I have, right? And I look at you in the future, and I think I've said to you, I was like, if something was to happen to me, I know that you would be the sort of person to kind of mobilize and organize, and you are that sort of person. So when I was growing up, I used to see that with my uncle and aunt's friends. I used to know that, uncle, even though they're not directly related, but because we call everybody uncle. Yeah, I know that Uncle Bani Bani is a sort of person to something. Uncle Lokuzen is going to be here. He's going to be here within minutes. He's going to be doing this. He's going to be doing that. And I think that's of you as well, in that you guys have got that, and we are getting to that stage, I suppose, where we're getting of age. Soon Natasha will be 50. I'll be 49.
Soon. You guys are far away from that. You're very far away from that.
But yeah, no. Just to throw it out there. And it's not just you. I think your lovely wife as well is the sort of person who is, you just envelop people and yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You too. I'm just
Come
kidding.
on, hey. Hey, me, people will be celebrating at my funeral.
Why?
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 I'm only joking.
Oh.
Or maybe he meant that it would be more of a celebration.
He's a pillar of society.
Yeah. So
So we're dedicating this episode to
rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Rest in power.
Rest in power. Yeah, because I never ever met her, but I was moved. I was actually moved because maybe I think I listened to 7 or 8 people talk about her in a row, and I think three of them broke down into tears, and one of them had never met her before. They just this person's just been so supportive to me, and yeah, that's lovely. That's nice to have people like that exist.
No, it's
difficult. So how do we move on from this one? It's hard. Anyway, I have a poem, which I think is quite pertinent to this. It's a poem for everything.
Whew, guys, 2020 be good to us for the rest of the year. Because It's been a lot.
So this poem is by a lady called Lana Rafaela, and it's entitled, I think it's Brave. I think it's brave that you get up in the morning, even if your soul is weary and your bones ache for rest. I think it's brave that you keep on living, even if you don't know how to anymore. I think it's brave that you push away the waves rolling in every day and you decide to fight. I know there are days when you feel like giving up, but I think it's brave that you never do. So that reminded me of you, because I think it's brave that you are. I see a woman so full of courage that you have carried on, that you organized people for Similo. You were running around doing, sending out the links for people, making sure that people were catered to, putting yourself second, even when you were also in need of loads of TLC. And, I know that you've been dying for this break, and the break is coming. So yeah, we love you, Natasha. Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to end in tears. You know that thing, it will end in tears.
Play some music, sis.
It wasn't supposed to end in tears, but no, thank you guys. I'll play some music now. But I think, thank you. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll probably stop this episode here because we don't want no problems with YouTube.
Yeah.
And whatever, copyright and all that stuff. So
are you playing WAP?
By YouTube. No. This is the song that